On today's episode, the Washington Wizards officially announced their Summer League roster, and boy, it's loaded. This is Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
DC family, this is Locked On Wizards, where you're part of our family. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen each and every day. We are all things NBA Summer League today. Stick with us throughout the episode alongside DC Sports content creating savant and credentialed media member for the Washington Wizards, Abdullah Ayubi. I'm Ben Schrober, and I cover all things DC Sports for 106.7 The Fan and the Team 980. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. NBA Summer League begins in just a couple days. Friday is when the Wizards will kick off their stint in the Vegas Summer League. They'll take on the Phoenix Suns at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We are looking forward to providing you coverage for that. And we are all things NBA Summer League in today's episode. Abdullah, Summer League roster is out. We officially have word of who is there and who is not. Your first impression so far, what have you noticed from what we see here on this roster?
I love that all the year two guys are playing. That's what's expected. I said it not too long ago. Will Dawkins, what he did, OKC in year two of Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, those guys, they kind of proved themselves in year one. And Chet Holmgren had that injury that held him out, so he kind of had a reason to play in that summer league in year two. But again, this goes to show that your position you have to fight for. You have to be competitive, and that's what I love from Will Dawkins. There's so many dogs on this roster, so many hungry guys that there's going to be competition. You're not just going to get that spot. You have to earn it. And obviously, Bilal Coulibaly, Tristan Vucevic are not on it. I think with Vucevic and his contract situation, Bilal, year three, I just don't think it would make sense. But we're hoping that he takes that year three jump. But can't wait to see Trey Johnson in any form of action. Him that first three is going to hit like crazy. Dylan Jones, his first minutes as a Wizard is going to be in the Summer League. So that's something to be looking out for. Will Riley, a guy who the Wizards thought that could take a big man in that and during his draft pick, but ended up going with Will, who a wing that has a lot of potential. And then Jameer Watkins, a 6'5" guy with basically a 7-foot wingspan, which is insane. That is insane. So seeing him play defensively, a lot of things to be excited for these 4 Summer League games. And I hope to see a good Wizards team because there's just so much young talent on the Summer League team.
So right now, I'm going to go through one by one and just list off who we have on this roster and some of the implications on the names we have here. Leaky Black will play in the NBA Summer League for the second time. He's been part of the organization with the Capital City Go-Go, a forward at 6'6". Bub Carrington back for year number 2. Akolda Gak will be a forward playing out of Mexico City in Australia. Keyshawn George back for a second year. Keshawn Gilbert. AJ Johnson will finally get the first crack to be on this Wizards Summer League roster after coming over from Milwaukee in the trade last year. Trey Johnson, his first minutes as an NBA player will come in the Vegas Summer League here in the Wizards Summer League here. Dylan Jones, who just comes over in the trade from Oklahoma City. He is listed as a forward at 6'5" for the Wizards here in the Summer League. Zeke Mayo, Jonathan Pierce, Kadari Richmond, the unrestricted free agent that the Wizards signed out of St. John's University. Will Riley, the 21st overall draft pick out of Illinois and the Canadian descent player, cracks the roster as well. Looking forward to seeing him play for the first time in a Wizards uniform. What do we see out of him? Liam Robbins and Alex Sarr is on this roster. This is something that you and I, Abdullah, we had speculated a little bit because of his listing with France on the Euro basketball thing they have going on this summer, which starts in early August, whether or not he would play in the Summer League, but he is listed on the Wizards Summer League roster right here. So I think the expectation right now is that we will see Alex Sarr go a second year in the Summer League. This is a place where he struggled a little bit last year, and, we heard all the flack for it, all the memes, but Alex Sarr throughout the regular season developed his game, got better and better offensively and defensively. Now he gets another opportunity here in the Summer League to continue to improve on those things. And I think it says a lot about the Wizards organization, one, for getting Sarr there, and also it says a lot about Alex Sarr because I don't think anybody would fault Alex Sarr in the situation, opportunity to compete for his home country, France. And if he were to sit out from the Summer League because he wanted to be a little bit more rested for the opportunity to play with France this summer and try to make that team, I don't think anybody could give him any flack for that. I don't think anyone would have any problem with him not playing in the summer league, yet we do have him on the roster here. And then last but not least, Jameer Watkins, the second-round pick out of Florida State, rounds out this Wizards summer league roster. On paper, this thing is loaded. You got a ton of players. All the year 2 players are back for this Wizards team, and there's just so much talent to go around. I mean, you're going to have 7 first-round picks from the last 2 seasons on this Wizards Summer League roster, which is unbelievable.
I wonder if that's a record.
Think about.
I don't know if it's a record, but it's definitely something to notice.
Have to do some research on that. But first glance, this team should fare really well here in the Summer League against some of the competition you're going up against. Of course, you're going to be facing other teams, top draft choices, and other people who have been brought into the organization. But the Wizards essentially will have a leg up, obviously, because you have guys who have experienced a full NBA season already playing here. Bob Carrington played in all 82 games in the regular season as a rookie, and here he is playing a second summer in the Vegas Summer Leagues. I'm stoked up for it. It begins on Friday, and I think there's a lot of things that we're going to be looking for specifically in this NBA Summer League. We're going to touch on that in the second segment. What players are we most excited to see in the Summer League, and what overall do we want to see from each specific player, whether it's Bob Carrington getting an expanded role this year, handling the ball a lot more of Jordan Poole not on the roster, his first chance to really be the point guard of this team. You get a first glance of that in the Summer League, but we'll touch on that more in the second segment. I just think it's really awesome that we're going to have such a talented team to watch here in the Summer League because, Abdul, I know you and I, since the season has ended, we've just been missing watching the Wiz kids. I think it got really fun, especially toward the end of the season, seeing how the team had developed and seeing how they were a lot more competitive down the stretch. And, of course, the lottery, just such a sour taste in our mouth after what happened on May 12th. But, look, we got Trey Johnson in the draft, and I think that's a gift. That is an absolute gift that you get Trey Johnson in this draft, despite falling all the way to 6, much to our chagrin. And now we're going to get the opportunity to see him play in the Vegas Summer League. There's so many different combinations we could see from the head coach in the Summer League, who's JJ Outlaw. He will be serving as the head coach for the Wizards in the Vegas Summer League. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, but I'm just looking forward to seeing him play starting on Friday.
And I think way to start it off for Alex Sarr, you bounce back from last year's Summer League performance, going up against Common Malawatch, the number 10 overall pick. I think him and Alex Sarr, if Alex Sarr starts and gets those minutes come Summer League time, that's going to be an intriguing matchup because, again, last year, there were a lot of people calling him out, saying that he was a bust after a couple of Summer League games, and you saw how he got better from game 1 to game 82. I always mentioned that game against Denver. It's kind of funny because last year the Wizards swept Denver in the whole season, which is insane to talk about, but that's besides the point. I think Alex Sarr getting better and still being able to say, hey, I still want to play in the Summer League because I want to get better. I want to develop chemistry early because this roster right now, 6, 7 of those guys are going to be getting meaningful minutes come the regular season. So this team is really, really young, and we'll see what they're made of come Summer League time. And I get it. We can't be over dramatic, and if they underperform, say, this Wiz kids, it's not going to work out. But we also can't overreact and say, oh, wow, we're dominating Summer League. We're going to be good in the regular season. So Wizards fans, just got to be patient and just see what you see out there. And Trey Johnson, that's the number one guy that I'm looking at because, again, I think he's the second best player coming out of this draft class.
Abdul, a question for you. I just want to know from your perspective, how much stock do you buy into Summer League performances? I know last year we couldn't buy a whole lot of stock into what Alex Sarr was able to put as his output on the court last summer. It was not indicative of what we saw from him in the regular season. So where can we draw the line of what we really know as truth to a player from the Summer League?
It's kind of interesting because I remember Wemby's Summer League wasn't that bright, and there was so much expectations going into him. I know Zion dominated in the Summer League, and where Zion Williamson is now, it's like a night and day difference. Jalen Brunson struggled in Summer League games. For me, again, you have to find a good balance, man. Obviously, if there's guys out there that are balling out and playing high intensity basketball, you have to give them credit where credit is due, but also can't really overreact and say, oh, this guy's going to be an all-star. Because again, it's Summer Leagues, a lot of young guys, but maybe it's their first play of NBA action and they get nervous and the jitters. It is what it is. So I really test NBA players come regular season, but the Summer League is when you get a quick sneak peek. I don't know. That's a good question. What about you?
I don't buy a ton of stock. The one thing that's the most important for me is the effort. If you're going to be getting your butt kicked in the Summer League, I want to see you at least giving 110% while doing it. If Trey Johnson is out there and he struggles in his opening night shooting the basketball or just adjusting to playing defense at the NBA level, I better see effort out of everybody. I think that's what we've preached from day one since you and I took over on this podcast is that we need to see effort from everyone within the organization. I think under Brian Keefe and the umbrella that we've seen unfold here in the Will Dawkins regime, that shouldn't be a problem. But it all starts in the summer league because, as a wise man once said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So 110% effort in the summer league is what translates to the regular season for me.
I agree. I think don't buy too much stock into it, but it's what you can control, and what you can control is your effort. And seeing a guy like Trey Johnson, or whether it's Bub Carrington, Alex, sorry, if you're struggling, get into someone's face, put heavy pressure on the ball. Like we mentioned, defensively, the Wizards need to get better, and it all goes back to effort. Every single NBA team is talented, but the reason why the better defender teams are the cream of the crop is because they go out there and provide effort. Defense, it's all about effort at the end of the day, getting rebounds, effort, that capital E word. And it all starts from the summer league, and we'll see if it translates into the regular season.
NBA Summer League kicks off on Friday. Wizards playing the Phoenix Sun. First look at Kaman Malawach. What should we be watching for this Summer League? We'll tell you that next year on Locked On Wizards. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet ride in the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today and visit FanDuel.com to get started. Alrighty, Summer League beginning on Friday, Abdullah. There's a lot that we should be on the lookout for here, but the top storylines are all over the place from Wizards fans. Let's start with you. What are you most intrigued to see here in Summer League? Who do you have your eyes on?
The number 6 overall pick, Trey Johnson. I know it's an easy answer, but a lot of hype going into him. I gave him a lot of praise coming out of Texas. I think he was one of the best players out of the SEC as a freshman, just going out there and just dominating at such a high level. I think just him coming up the court, want to see his tight handles, I want to see his three-point shot. It's an easy answer, but there's so much stock going into this guy, and this guy is presumably the number one superstar out of this roster, at least because, again, the note talked about how there's not really that many potential superstars on this roster, and a lot of people didn't like that, clearly, the comment section of the last video. But I think seeing Trey Johnson out there and just playing his game, that's what I love to see. I know it's an easy name, and I can give other names out there, but I think a lot of Wizards fans, majority of them, want to see Trey go out there and begin his tenure in Washington and be that guy that just, we haven't had a dominant guard since Bradley Beal, 30 points per game guy. And I think Trey could be that guy. And it all starts from Summer League. And again, we mentioned don't overreact if he doesn't do well, because we saw what Alex did last year in the Summer League and how it turned out throughout the season, last season. So it's going to be exciting, but I think I got to go with Trey Johnson, man.
His best strength, of course, as a shooter, something we expect him to easily translate here to the NBA level. Shot 40% in his freshman season in the SEC playing at Texas, put that team on his back for the Longhorns. Trey Johnson did. I think that's something that will translate really well, and I think it'll be pretty safe to say, well, not safe to say, but I think that's something we do see early on, even here in the Summer League, is that the jump shot will be there. For Trey Johnson, you brought up the tight handles. I want to see him try to create his own shot. That was something he did very well at Texas, but there is a big difference from the D1 level, obviously, to the NBA. This is just the first taste of it. I want to see what he can do with the ball in his hands, because I'm not worried about Trey Johnson playing off the ball at all. I think he's going to be a fantastic off-ball player at the next level. I think in the Summer League here, you might as well get him his reps with the ball in his hands, see him get downhill, try to take it to the cup, create his own shot, whether it's around the mid-range game or the three-point arc. I want to see Trey Johnson utilize that part of his game here in the Summer League. I think that's going to be key for him in his development as a scorer in the NBA. If he does have the potential to become a superstar player, he's going to have to be someone that can play well off the ball and insanely well on the ball. But with that being said, I'm buying a lot of stock into the Summer League here for Bub Carrington, because this is a massive season for the second-year guard out of Baltimore, because Bub, in year number one, of course, playing alongside Jordan Poole. Poole is a guy that had to have the ball in his hands at all times. He's not much of an off-ball player. And, we saw the proof in the pudding with that, and how often Jordan Poole would be out there to create his own shot. Most of the shots that you'd see him take were shots that would come for him off the dribble or spot up. Bub Carrington will have a much larger opportunity to play on the ball. And I think one thing that he struggled with in year number one was his ability to get downhill, his ability to get to the free throw line and finish at the rim. So in the summer league, I want to see the fair opportunity for him to have the ball in his hands a ton, whether it's to be a playmaker or be an elite level scorer. That's what I'm looking for here in Bub Carrington. I think I said it last week in the episode we did. I would take him to be the leading scorer in this summer league because I just think he is going to have the most shooting opportunities given his new role with this team. And it all starts here in the Vegas Summer League, the first chance for him to really see what he's made of as a point guard here in this league.
Yeah, no question about it. Bub is a dog. We know that from game one of last year to game 82. I mean, the last game of the season, playing 82 games, hitting a game winner off the glass for the win. Not many dudes are like them. In today's NBA, we have guys, superstars, who just don't want to play at all. And when you're on a losing team, you're still going out there giving 110% effort. The combination of him and Trey Johnson, it's going to be a very intriguing backcourt. Again, maybe shades of what we had with Bradley Beal, John Wall, to maybe some potential. And on top of that, you have a guy in CJ McCollum who can mentor those two guys, and Marcus Smart and AJ Johnson. You have so many pieces around this team. It's going to be really exciting. Another guy that I'm really intrigued about is Will Riley. Where does he fit right now? We talked about a log jam with the wings that we have. You got Cam Whitmore now. You got Bilal Coulibaly, that year two jump that we're always talking about. Will Riley, where does he fit? Justin Champagnie, Keyshawn George, Corey Kispert still on this roster. I think he's going to be traded soon. So if you're Will Riley, there's a reason why Will Dawkins took you at pick 21. He has so much faith in you being that guy who can be that three-level scorer, that wing that provides versatility. We'll have to see. Maybe he can be that Keyshawn George 2.0. Having two Keyshawn George in a roster would be amazing. So we'll just have to see. And I think he's going to play a really impactful role come this summer league.
If there's anyone I have no worries about effort-wise here in the summer league, is a guy that we haven't seen any of at the NBA level, and that's because he's the second-round pick, Jamir Watkins, an absolute defensive freak at Florida State. And when I mean freak, like, this dude is a demon when it comes to defending on the ball. He will get in your face and press you 94 feet down the floor. He is that kind of player, and I cannot wait to see him play here in the summer league because I feel like this is a guy, he's got a chip on his shoulder right now, passed up on by everybody else. He falls to the second round and gets an opportunity here in Washington. He kind of fits in that logjam of crowded position on the wings. This is the opportunity for Jamir Watkins to prove himself and earn himself a two-way contract with this team, because I think this is a guy that has a ton of athleticism, a ton of tools and ability. We just need to see him put it together here in the summer league. This is such a large opportunity for him. I think he's going to be playing out there with his head on fire. Like, I fully expect this dude to be the most exciting player on the court in just terms of not vibes, I'd say, but just a guy who you could tell is playing for his whole career out there in Jamir Watkins. Like, this dude, he's going to show up in the summer league. I'm telling you right now, he's going to look good out there, and he's going to do it at 150% effort.
And that's what we're looking for here in DC. Defensively, just bottom five in a lot of categories these last couple of years. We need those guys who are going to be those anchors. I think Jamir Watkins can be that guy. You're a second-round pick. Maybe the offensive game is not there yet, but defensively, if you're showing up, picking up 94 feet, Coach Keefe definitely going to look at that and say, hey, we're going to want him to be there come crunch time in the regular season. So a lot of potential. There's untapped potential all around this Wizards roster, and all comes down with Summer League, and I can't wait for game one against the Phoenix Suns.
You know what I really wonder about with the group of veterans the Wizards have, including guys who were brought in. Of course, this week officially the Wizards announced CJ McCollum as part of this Wizards organization, and Kelly Olynyk, who, much to the chagrin of a lot of Wizards fans, if you look at the comments, a lot of people are saying, no, get this dude away from our team. But look, man, the past is in the past. Kelly Olynyk broke my heart as a 13-year-old kid, but if he's going to be out there trying to mentor the young players that we have, if he is on this roster come the opening day, I'm going to be there to support him. Like, if he can serve in the role that we need him to do here going forward, Kelly Olynyk, do your job out there. What I wonder about with a lot of these veteran players, Abdullah, is if they are tuned in to these summer league games and keeping close contact with a lot of the guys they already, have been connected with here on this roster. Think about Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart. I think even Marcus Smart is a guy that we don't expect to be here around opening day for this Wizards team. But, Chris Middleton and those two guys, obviously they got to spend the last part of the year playing here with Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr. They'll watch those summer league games and give them a call up after the game. Let them know some things they did well. Let them know things they can improve on and, help them get in the right mentality. I think that would be awesome to see. I don't know if that's something that will happen, but maybe if we got the opportunity to ask any of these players if they were kept in close contact with some of the veterans they have, I think that could be really good for them, actually.
I definitely agree. I think the vets that you have right now with Olynyk, with Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton, the guys that legit want to be mentors for these young guys. And last year, I bring up a situation with Kyle Kuzma, just the body language wasn't there. Clearly, the young guys just didn't mesh with him in the locker room. But now it's completely different. And that's what Will Dawkins wants. You want to increase that trade value of these young guys on expiring contracts, but you also want to make sure they're mentoring these young guys, because these young guys are going to be eventually the ones that are going to lead you to the championship. So it's going to be really exciting to see, and I can't wait. And I get it, Kelly Olynyk, what he did to us when we were in middle school and freshman year of high school. It was frustrating, but again, the past is in the past, and he's a new leader here in DC.
I know not everyone is as young as us, obviously, that watches our podcast, and we love every single one of you that tune into Locked On Wizards every single day. But if us who were kids, I feel like we're less forgiving. I feel like we don't have that wise wisdom that you get as you get a lot older. So if we can forgive Kelly Olynyk, I think everyone else eventually will be able to, if he does indeed serve as a mentor for this organization. So don't come at me, please. Please do not come for me and say I'm a Kelly Olynyk fan. I'm not. I feel you. I understand why people are frustrated about it, but we're trying to move forward. This organization is trying to move forward here. So everybody's got to be all hands on deck, and that includes Kelly Olynyk, part of that. Predictions and more coming up next for the Summer League here on Locked On Wizards. Stick with us. Four games already announced for the Wizards in the Summer League here. And I kind of wanted to just read for you what we got so far for the Wizards in the Summer League. So what we know, the Wizards will be playing Phoenix to open the Summer League. And then, of course, you will have a matchup with the Utah Jazz that comes up eventually as well. But Abdul, first glance from what you've seen at the schedule right now, based on who the Wizards are playing, do you have any kind of idea what the Wizards' record looks like here in the Summer League? Is it wishful thinking to think that they go undefeated? Do you care if they go undefeated? Obviously, it'd be nice. But what are you looking at here?
So I forgot. This is a question off the top of my head. How does it work? So the playoffs are right after the 4 games, and not everyone makes the playoffs. Do you know? Because I remember when the Lakers won with Lonzo and Kyle Kuzma, that was a fun squad. So I was wondering, do they still do the playoffs, or is this 4 games?
It says that the 5th game is to be announced.
Okay. Obviously, I would like to see them win every single game. Would be nice because, again, the competition, that Brooklyn Nets game, you're going up against 5 first-round picks. Danny Wolf, a guy that I really wanted. Ace Bailey is looking really solid in Summer League so far, so that Jazz game is going to be really intriguing. But the first game, Common Watch, I want to see how the Wizards do against the center with his physicality. But, again, it's not the end of the world if you lose these games, but just seeing team ball, being competitive, giving 110% the intensity, efficiency. I'm looking at all of that and just seeing how these young guys are going to fare come their year one of their first year as an NBA player.
Who do you think will surprise people the most here in this Summer League?
That's a really good question. I think I'm gonna go with Will Riley. I think a guy who just obviously we bring up Jameer Watkins with his defensive ability to get in someone's face 94 feet. Trey Johnson can shoot the heck out of the ball, but Will Riley, a wing that a lot of people are going to be saying, hey, how did he fall to the 21st overall pick? A guy who 6'8", can shoot it from 3, can put the ball on the floor. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to definitely put NBA fans on notice and say, wow, he fell to 21 to the Wizards. Maybe another Keyshawn George situation that you have here in DC. I don't know. What do you think, man?
I actually was going to say Keyshawn George. I expect such a great scoring season for him upcoming in the regular season. I think it's going to look pretty slight for him here in the Summer League. I think what we saw from him development-wise, Keyshawn George really has the tools to be such an elite two-way player. here in the NBA. And we just saw glimpses of it, flashes of it in the regular season. And here in the second year of the Summer League, I feel like this is where for a player, especially coming off a really solid regular season campaign, you probably have a ton of confidence because one, you're going into the Summer League, you don't have as much pressure on you, but also you think to yourself, I was already able to do this against the best dudes in the league last year. Why should I have any problem doing it against a bunch of other rookies, a bunch of other guys my age? And I feel like that's what we'll see from Keyshawn George. We're going to see a polished looking player from him here in the Summer League. And not to say it should come as a massive surprise to Wizards fans, but it might be one of those things we go, man, like Keyshawn George looks even better than we had thought. Like we might have ourselves a dude here in Keyshawn George. So that's kind of the way I look at it right now.
And it's kind of funny because last year out of the draft class, he was the guy where I just didn't know much about coming out of Miami. I know Bub and Sar had a lot of potential in them, but Keyshawn, at one point, I was like, maybe send him to the Capital City Go-Go, but man, he proved me wrong. Got better, can shoot it from three. One thing I want to see going off Keyshawn George is I want to see him take it to the hole more. I get it. You can shoot it from three. You got that, but can you take it to the rim? Be more aggressive. Maybe take that mid-range shot instead of taking that contested three. I want to see him be aggressive. And again, you have that confidence of dominating year one of your rookie season. So we'll see come Summer League time.
So also one thing that we should note here in this episode, let me pull up what we got here. So yeah, Summer League media availability will be tomorrow, set to take place at the Wizards MedStar Health Performance Center. We will see head coach of the Summer League, JJ Outlaw, Bub Carrington, and Trey Johnson will be available to speak after practice. So be on the lookout tomorrow for some of the comments that those three say about the Summer League. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions that our audience will have about the Summer League roster, and you might get some of the answers to that tomorrow. And I'm sure tomorrow's episode will probably be, recapping some of the things that we notice from those press conferences tomorrow. Abdul, while we still have a second here, is there anything else just about the Summer League you want to get off your chest right now?
Is Bradley Beal gonna get bought out? I know Bradley Beal, but like Ben, like this is gonna continue happening. Also, for all those Wizards fans out there, or that run Wizards pages, or any Wizards fan, why the heck are you entertaining Bradley Beal coming back to Washington? I've seen so many posts of reunion in Washington, return to DC. Why? Like I don't understand. Like this doesn't make any sense. We have such a young squad here. Why bring Bradley Beal, who clearly is past his prime? Some would say washed. I mean, his downfall from averaging 30 points per game to where he is right now. I'm not saying he's a bum. He can still give you like 14 to 15 points per game, but he's going to alter this chemistry that we have with the young guys here. So to me, it just wouldn't make any sense. I don't know. Have you been seeing that like me?
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing it. I've seen a whole bunch of reports naming like 8 different teams that would supposedly be interested in him if he's bought out. And I'm sure there'd be teams that would be interested in bringing Bradley Beal in. I don't want to be one of them. The Wizards are not the Wizards, this organization had to trade him away. They had to get off his contract. They're not going to bring him back. They're not going to be in the interest of doing that. I know there's a lot of people who say, well, Ted Leonsis might have something to say about that. They'd like to see him come back. No, they're not doing that. The Wizards are not bringing back Bradley Beal. That ship sailed. So, I mean, that's just the way I'm looking at it right now.
No, I agree with you. One last thing. I don't know if you saw Cam Whitmore on Twitter posted this of him going to a Wizards game and marching Gortat on social media saying that he's a DMV. That is so awesome. It's so awesome to see guys who Kevin Durant, who want to play in our hometown, that are willing to come here and ball out here in the district. Well, I can't wait to see Cam Whitmore in a Wizards jersey.
That was actually insane to me to see because you and I are around similar age. I think we're a year older than Cam Whitmore. I'll be 22 in August. Abdul, I don't even know when your birthday is.
I am turning 23 in November. I am so old, Ben.
Okay, but so Cam Whitmore, he actually turns 21 as this episode is coming out, I believe. So if I'm right about that, which I think I am, happy birthday, Cam. Happy birthday to Cam Whitmore. But there's the picture of him with marching Gortat. You and I were in his same shoes when we were in middle school as well, going down there trying to get autographs at the then Verizon Center. So that was so awesome to see. One more thing on the Beal situation. I know that looking at it right here, he's like 150 points away from the all-time Wizards leading scorer list, right behind Elvin Hayes. So I think that's why a lot of people have got the crazy thought to bring him back to break the scoring record. I don't need to see all it. I don't need to see it. So I'll leave it at that, Abdullah.
Yeah, I think this whole Bradley Beal talk it's too much, man. Come on. We got to move on. We got Bub Carrington, Trey Johnson now, baby.
I know, man. We're moving forward. All right. We thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today. For your second listen, find the Locked On NBA podcast where there's no off-season. Doug, Matt, and Hayes keep you up to date on contract negotiations, rumors, and everything you need to be the most informed NBA fan. Find Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to tune in with us, follow us on social media, and subscribe to Locked On Wizards. For my co-host, Abdul Ayyubi.
Thank you for 10,000 views, sorry, on the live stream. I really appreciate it. To cut you off, Ben, but that was awesome. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, everyone who watched that video. We'll see you next time. Go Wizards.